Hey guys, I'm Sdanwolf, and welcome back to Wilderness Springs. We are, can you believe we are actually in episode 10? I think I said that during episode 7, but, really now that we are in 10, we are making some progress. We are, I've kind of, it's really neat, this whole idea. Like, one of the wonderful things about this park is it's really taken on like this exceedingly personal style, and I think it really, it has a lot to do with you guys and the feedback that I get from it. Like, I don't want to just be cliche and be like, thank you guys for all the feedback. No, like, I really mean it. You can, if you go back chronologically and you look at some of these episodes and have it coincide with some of your comments about tips and tricks and changes, I take you guys seriously, and I've always said, if I think I can make the idea work, and if I think I can implement it, I definitely try to. And that's just what's so cool about this park. Just that, like I said, the exceedingly personal nature of it. And really just, and maybe I should have been doing this a long time ago, doing like these kind of formal, community-driven type episode builds that you guys can actually keep up with on a regular, consistent episode by episode basis. Because you remember, you guys were the ones that told me, man, because one guy actually, he even just straight up said, he goes, man, I love your stuff. I love how you build in Planet Coaster, but you never have anything regular that I can follow and invest myself in. He's like, don't take that the wrong way. I love what you do, but he's like, you don't have anything consistent for me to fall back on and see what you're working on. And that comment, I really took it to heart and was like, this guy is right. I need to sit down and focus on a park and let these guys actually get in here and be a part of it. And I figured just a Wilderness Springs, normal budget, more realistic park was the perfect setting to do this little Wilderness Springs experiment we have going on here. So anyways, this part, the first part of the time lapse, I'm building like one of those little, little train areas, and my biggest inspiration that come from this is actually, it runs around the island right near Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, and it picks the little kids up, and it's almost like a little golf cart, and it runs them all around the island, back and forth through the different shops, and the kids absolutely love it. I actually got a little video of it this past weekend. It was really cold, so there was only like one little kid and his mom on it. But check this out up in the top right-hand corner. This is what I'm talking about. See, it goes really slow, just like a souped-up little golf cart. And look, it's beyond cute. See, listen. The lady's ringing the little bell, and the little kids can climb up in it, and she takes them all over the shopping complex. And see the mom back there, it's big enough to where you can actually you can sit in it with your kids and ride around. And I thought, what a perfect atmosphere. What better park lends itself than Wilderness Springs to have a little a little motion train like that kind of just, man, it just goes around the little front side of the park. It doesn't go way too deep back in there. It just kind of circles the little main emporium, makes its way in front of the Plaza Theater, and I was able to just barely hide the tracks underneath the concrete. But one thing, like I said in the channel update video, it doesn't totally, like, you can't totally sync it up. You probably could, but for the instance in this park, the wheels are a little sunk down into the concrete. So, that's just something we kind of have to look past, because like I mentioned in the update video, it is just so It's so stinking cute that I thought I just had to implement it. But really, the thing that I've really brought you here for, that I'm really excited to show you, especially when we slow it down here in a few minutes, is this big outdoor stage, this big amphitheater that I've built here, and we've situated it right between the River Rapids ride and Twin Peaks Mine, and I really don't think there could be a more perfect spot for it. I went through a couple different variations. What you're going to see at the end is how it sits today. All this time lapse was recorded probably last Friday, and I'm just now getting around to getting the voiceover and stuff recorded, obviously. But yeah, so I've moved it back a little bit, and I think where I have it setting now is perfect. But yeah, guys, just think of this as like a giant outdoor amphitheater where we've got live shows, you know, not just, you'll see how I theme it. I think when we get to the slow section, I might have recorded a little bit of time-lapse theming it, but I had to back out a couple times, and I kind of changed the layup on it a little bit. The roof and everything stays the same. But really, my point is we needed a main kind of stage, and getting back to what I was saying, not just from a music standpoint, but from a show standpoint too. So we'll have props on this stage. You know, we can do like you know, funny, like maybe get some people in some funny bear costumes, and you know, we can do a whole mess of different things with the style and layout of this theater. And mostly checking, even in the late afternoons, most of the seats are covered, so the sun, this roof does a good job of evenly distributing the shade. And what we've said too from the beginning, sight lines, very non-intrusive. You don't notice it very much from the entrance of the park, which, like I said, we didn't want to. The sight lines are very important. We didn't want to ruin the views of the mountain in the background. You know, with especially like a particularly larger, you know, kind of half dome amphitheater. And you'll see when we slow it down here in a minute and get into the real time. Definitely not intrusive. And the spot, how we've kind of sunk it down into the ground a little bit, really gives a cool, intimate feel. And you know, I think it worked out really well. And building stages in Planet Coaster goes back to my alpha days. Like, I've always thought trying to build these little stages and these concert halls and stuff, like I said, even back from my Kraken Kingdom days, was one of the first things that I actually built was a concert stage like this. So I think Wilderness Springs definitely needed one, especially if we're going for like the Dollywood, you know, the live entertainment type vibe. And I also too, I think it might have been Super Friend, one of my guys on here, it might have been David Spring. I can't totally remember. One of you guys, without totally going back and looking, even mentioned, and I hadn't even intended this, but might have been even Claire Jones. Sorry, whoever it was, big shout out to you, because you guys even said that it could be used as an outdoor theater as well. And so I thought, you know, when I put this billboard up, I don't know if you'll see the billboard in the time lapse because that was kind of a little bit of an afterthought. But looking at it, you would even think, yeah, that could be a movie, could be projected on the back of this wall, and you could have like a Wilderness Springs could have like a family movie night, you know, where we show a different type of adventure movie or Western movie or, you know, whatever's going on, just like a drive-in movie. And the people could either sit on the benches or they could, I wanted the benches to be removable in case people wanted to bring like their blankets or those fold-up chairs and bring them in. So I figured like the benches and stuff would could stay there, you know, like that's like 95% of the time. But when we want to have these movie nights and stuff, the benches, you could have maintenance come in a day or two before, yank out all the benches, and we could have it a totally open field. So that's why I kind of left it grass too. So well, I left it grass at the beginning, but now I've got like I don't think I did this in the time lapse either, but we've got like this almost like orange kind of soft turf that, you know, people could lay their blankets and chairs and stuff down in, and you could definitely have a movie night as well. So that is another thing I think really lends itself well to this theater build. It's not just hampered down by just music and plays and an outdoor type of theater vibe, but now that you guys mentioned it, yeah, outdoor movie night. So anyways, guys, yeah, let's go ahead. I know I didn't film too much of a time lapse on this because I got it done pretty quick. So this was 48 minutes, kind of sized down to 10 minutes. And so let's go ahead and we'll just go ahead and jump into the real time and let's talk about this a little bit, and I'll let you guys see it, and maybe we can do a little cinematic or something real quick. But I think you guys will like this. And yeah, hold on just one sec. All right, guys, here we go, and I would love to know what you think about the new Wilderness Springs Theater. So this is how it sits. This is what I've been working on the last pretty much this last little weekend, and kind of just really I really like the idea of the theater being kind of you know, sunk down a little bit. We've got the stairs, and I know we need to probably definitely have to set up some kind of handicap little path if we want to go for some ultra realism. But for right now, we'll just do the stairs right there. And yeah, so I kind of just took one of our older pictures from Twin Peaks Mine and did the little sign with the WS up here. And so yeah, this is what I was talking about. You kind of didn't get to see in the time lapse. Was we've got like little props up here and stuff that the workers and stuff can get changed behind and get ready. And then of course we've got like the little control center here, and you know, they can control everything from back there. As far as the lighting and the shows and all that go. And yeah, so and kind of when you make your way back through here, see, this is kind of going to be the main little pathway. Of course, we've got construction walls up right now, but this is going to be your main little path to get to the what do you call it? It's totally slipped my mind. River Rapids ride. Yeah, the abandoned logging camp. So that'll be your main little access road to that. And so I kind of had some fun this weekend just playing around with different plaza concepts, and I thought it would be really cool, like if you're deciding if you want to go on it or if you want to catch one of these tables over here in the shade, or kind of maybe stand up here and just kind of look over the stage and kind of see everything that's going on. See if you're standing right here, if you come over here to this edge, you can kind of see and definitely be able to hear the show and stuff. And I figured too, if we did it at night like we had talked about, and we wanted to do you know, late night movies and stuff, this could definitely be a cool like little overflow type pavilion up here. If you couldn't get a, you know, like I said, we would remove the temporary little bleachers, and if you couldn't get a seat down here to actually watch the show, there would still be room for people to set along this whole little edge up here, and this path actually dead ends. And so I kind of created it like that as extra little seating and stuff for movie night. So. And yeah, so like I said, it kind of it sets right between the River Rapids ride and Twin Peaks. So I think it was a really good filler spot. I still want to work on like what Wolf Tenor was telling me, doing like a cool little like a restaurant, but and I was going to do it right there, but this theater idea kind of just started gaining traction on me, and I just thought it just worked out too cool to pass up. And I just think, and I think you guys will agree with me, because as far as the design goes, it works out really, really well. Kind of, you know, you've got these two separate rides, and you have Twin Peaks with a really, really big presence. You know, the Twin Peaks commands a lot of attention when you walk up on it. And the theater, I think, complements Twin Peaks good. Now it's kind of like they both kind of compete for your attention, but they both offer so different forms of entertainment that they just I think it works out really, really well right there. So anyways, guys, yeah, we will continue with this. I've got still got to just fine tune the little train a little bit and make sure that's where let me get these people moving real quick before I let you go. Make sure that's kind of what I want to go down right here. And I just I think the whole park, yes, it is a little compact, and we're doing one of these parks where like every spot on the map is taken up, but it's not really bogging my rig down really bad right now. And so everything seems to be working out okay. So I'm just going to keep rolling with it and keep building. And, if we get to a point where I have to build off map and import stuff in, I'll do that too. I don't really want to do that because I kind of lose a little bit of the, I don't know. I lose a little bit of the creative process when I start building off map. Like I want to be here where if I spark, like I want to be able to spark an idea because I see what sets off to the right of it and be like, oh, what would really look good? A theater would look really awesome by Twin Peaks, to kind of fill in that big gap. You wouldn't necessarily see something like that if I built that theater off map. You see what I'm saying? It's not the same. Designing away from your from your main layout and your main inspiration. So another thing that was pretty cool I saw this weekend at the island. I kind of want to build here, but it was like a little wilderness type of mirror maze, and it would totally be implied. It would be because obviously we don't have like a mirror maze in the game yet. But I could build. I really want to try to build the facade of this mirror maze that sets inside the island, and it actually has a little bumper car thing connected to it, but even though I know we already have bumper cars over here in the 50s area, I might be able to like attach an arcade to the mirror maze or something. And then of course too, I've got to get over here and finish up. We have got to get these construction walls down and get this water rapid ride finished. You can see I still have a lot of theming left to do over here at the big drop. And we've got to get some lighting and, more vegetation, more rocks. And so, we've definitely got to get that done because those construction walls have been up since, I don't know, probably at least 2 or 3 episodes now. Same way with Shine Run. I need to finish up on it. But like I said, I had the idea to do the theater and really just needed to roll with it this past weekend. So that's kind of what I focused on. And we've still got the construction walls up on these two. But what I'm saying is I don't want to expand much more until those two are knocked out and fully operational and fully themed, and then we can start pushing out back behind the theater and kind of maybe get some stuff going out this way. Even thought about having like a big plaza kind of over right here in this area and doing the mirror maze over here, and then of course we probably do the exit for the Rapids ride instead of bringing it back over here to this bridge. I don't know if maybe we could just have them exit off that way, or I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. I've still got some work to do with that queue and finishing the station. So this week, when I'm playing the game, I'm probably going to be focusing on finishing those two up. So I don't know how much time lapse will go into that. It'll be more so the time. I'd like to do the time lapse on like the new ideas that we've come up with. So be thinking of some different stuff that we can kind of expand out behind the theater on and over on the far side of the wilderness ride. Had one shout out that sounded cool a couple days ago. Somebody told me might be a good spot for a big Ferris wheel back there. So we'll look into that. Definitely it's time for another flat ride back there, because we don't really have a lot going on once you pass up wilderness, or once you pass up Twin Peaks. So this is kind of like a temporary path end, but we'll probably end up removing all that, getting rid of the tables, and this will be another path that kind of leads you into this back corner of the park. And I know another thing that's weird about this park. It's weird, but I still like it, and I know you guys have probably noticed it. But it's the fact that we don't really, it's kind of a no-no for me. It's just so happens it's worked out good. But we don't really have any defined areas, which is kind of weird. Like you don't have like a Craftsman's Valley or a rustic ridge. It's just kind of like everything just kind of flows in here together. I mean, I guess like we're kind of going with the theme of the creek kind of dictates where you're at in the park, and what's built along the creek. But it's just we definitely have like little areas, but like cause, like kind of like where our dueling daredevils is here. Our Barnstormer ride definitely has its own little unique, cool area, but it's just. Besides that, in the 50s area, it's kind of just wide open. But like I said, it works out good. I'm pleased with how it's worked out. Don't get me wrong, but if any of you have any pet peeves about not having any, this park having non-dedicated areas, I completely understand what you mean. But just with the design and the way this has worked out, it just hasn't went down like that. So that's just something maybe we'll address in another park and try to do like your Adventureland and Frontierland. If I ever do a Disney-esque type fantasy park, which makes the next logic step. I've started to do this. We're 10 episodes into the more realistic normal budget build. So maybe once this is all over and the lights have been turned off and it's been sent to the workshop for you guys to kind of explore on your own, maybe we'll look into starting a brand new series that will be more fantasy based, kind of like my old Hearthstone park. We'll do a castle right in the center, and then we'll have it you'll branch off to different little hubs and stuff. So anyways, guys, yeah, that is kind of what I've got going on. Like always, give me a big thumbs up if you end up enjoying this video, and subscribe for more Planet Coaster content. And yep, thanks for stopping by for episode 10, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. See ya. Skeleton on my left wrist in that soul place. On my knees thanking God that it got me through the pain. Danger, I don't fit in, I'm a stranger. Believer, I can take out all the evil. Empowerment to all my people.